Helen and everyone's always like, which one do you start with? It actually doesn't matter, but because they're all connected. So if you're like, okay, these people from Fortis, IPOC, whoever, right?
Yeah.
Interested in this 2 mil screw cap micro tube, uh, you'll go
Which
here.
which I think they're in as a lead currently.
Yeah, they probably are. Uh,
Fortis.
yeah, and it just depends who you want to tie it to, because you can either tie it to like an org or a contact, right? And it just depends if that contact is in already. So their name is IPOC.
Yeah, this Pino, he's already in. Pino Ianetti. I'm the lead owner,
Yeah, it's
and
his
it's the company
recording.
says IPOC, part of Fortis.
Ah, okay.
And I'm looking at I just did a Fortis search and I pulled up this lead.
Okay.
So we have an open lead from Pino. Pino is the guy's first name. Co-founder, CFO.
Got it. So he's the one that you want to associate this to, and he's the one who's like championing it. I remember seeing the notes and seeing like George isn't championing this or somebody. Uh, but
Well,
whoever, yeah.
yeah, I guess who put this in? You put this in, yeah?
Yeah, and it all goes to the notes, and because I was just reading Patty's notes, and it has a lot of notes on him, but I think it said George is not championing. I just remember somebody's like, if they basically directed you to like one of the three guys, right, that y'all were talking to, but it doesn't really matter,
It
right?
was it was Pino and Garth that directed us to George.
Ah, okay.
So should we change the contact to George or add George in as a
Let's see. So George is taking the lead on this project. This item needs, you see the screen?
no, I'm not even looking at the screen here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I am now.
Okay.
Oh
So
yeah. There's
yeah,
George.
so I just went through and then yeah, all the notes. And so this is what I was saying. I don't know if people know what I meant whenever I said like you can filter by show event, but that's like the thing for all of these events that we do. You can like it's clickable and it'll
Who's
bring you
got
to
George as a lead? Oh, Patty owns this one. That's why I didn't see it.
yeah. You want me to change that one to you? It doesn't
Uh,
matter. I just said it as her because she didn't put your name there, and I don't think she cared. I
I
think
I think she assigned me the ones she wanted to assign me,
okay.
and I will ask her how she wants to proceed with George as the lead. But I would assume we can continue anyways on a quote.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's do that.
So and the thing is, so gonna have to convert this lead. Uh, so whenever you're in samples, I'll show you real quick, just so this all like makes sense. So he's still a lead,
Right now
right?
we're in leads, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever you're in samples,
Yeah.
samples are only associated with converted people, basically, right? Like because the org or contact
Yeah.
has to be in Zoho, and since IPOC
Yeah.
isn't in like IPOC part of Fortis, that name is still part of a lead and not a contact or a part of an organization
Right. So
that's
we
been
gotta make them a
converted.
contact.
Yeah, so we have to go and like convert that lead. So then George, convert. I'll notify Patty. And then whenever if you're looking at the screen, there's a way where you can create a new sales opportunity for this org or account. I just want to do that in this very moment. So this is like the conversion thing, and I think you said that you've converted your leads and
I have never converted a lead.
okay, so this is
I've never
yeah.
played with Zoho at all, really.
So okay, so they're all in like intertwined. So whenever you have your leads and you've like emailed them and you're already just having like conversation, you just go to that lead and then in the top right it'll be convert.
Okay.
And then it's like gonna create a new org or account. So
Uh-huh.
I part of for it. So that's why it's like important to have the name as you want it. We can change it later, but it people usually don't change it later. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
then, yeah, then you end up with
Good
duplicate.
data in, preferably.
Yeah, exactly. Good data in. So then,
Okay.
whenever you're converting, you can create a new sales opportunity for the org or account, but we don't have to do that in this step. I'll just like create them so they appear.
It's a heck of a name, too, huh?
Yes, it is.
Easy to screw that one up.
Mm-hmm. So,
Vaxivinakis. I don't, yeah, something like that.
right? Must be Greek,
Oh yeah, I'd imagine. That's I don't think I've ever heard a more Greek sounding name.
right? So
It's a great
then
name though.
it is. So then sales opportunity. So there's like multiple ways you can do this. And everyone's always like, what's the best way? It honestly doesn't matter. But I typically don't go to sales opportunities first. I go to samples and shows because you can find a sales opportunity under that specific lead, right? But I just go here because I do everything in one step. If you just go to create samples and shows, I don't have to keep going to like sales opportunity module. I don't have to do all these things. Whenever you are making a sample, it has the order account and you have to create a sales opportunity. So if you remember, I said in the email, I think like last week, I didn't really go into detail, but I
Mhm.
alluded to like there's a way where you can input these requests as sales opportunities. And that's what you're gonna have to do for every sale sample or show order. So org, so you see that we converted it. So now they're here. They weren't here before because they were just like they were a lead, right? So after
Right,
we converted it, iPod part of Fortis pops up. And
right.
then
George will
now
pop
that,
up.
yeah, and then you do this, and then George will pop
George is
up.
the only one that pops up. All right.
Yeah. And then subject, you can either call it the tube number, you can call it whatever.
Well,
This
I mean, we might as well walk through it, huh?
Yeah, so
All
this
right.
is
Let me get my email over on a
it's
different window.
yeah. I think this is 3641 875.
875 sterilized, yes? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it is sterilized. Um,
But I just
but the
say,
sample is not sterilized.
yeah. So then 2 mil SC MCT. You can call it whatever, but
Half
that's
mil
2 mil super
to
clear.
half mil, actually.
Yeah. Thank you.
0.5
Point 0.5.
screw cap micro centrifuge tube.
Yeah.
That's MCT.
Yeah.
Okay.
I put 36.
Basically, this is a sample storage tube, but we don't carry that, right? We use these as sample storage.
That we have sample storage tubes, but not in this size. Like a lot of our tubes can be used for storage,
Mhm.
like our 5 mil, 10 mil, 15, 50. You can store samples and whatever. If they're freezable, you can basically store them. But
Yeah.
they're probably working with really small volumes, especially since they're working with like I imagine DNA or like biomolecules. So they're usually not working with like large samples. It's usually like these tiny vials and then they aliquot like if it's half a mil, they might use either the whole or like even take a portion of that, so they don't really need large tube volume. So it makes sense why they're using these because that's what I used to use in like breast cancer research.
I will
So
not deviate from this too long, but there was a Chinese supplier I don't know, getting some info from. I'm still trying to learn product lines and the whole thing and like how cryovials and storage samples separate from each other and the screw tubes and
yeah, so
like what makes what. But I don't know, this guy's
cryovials are good for like cryogenic freezing, so they sit in nitrogen tanks, and
yeah.
not every tube can sit in a nitrogen tank because
This is a polypro crack, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
so you gotta have a specific polypro that can handle it.
yeah, and that's usually where they're storing like your fat cells, any cells, they're storing that in cryo tanks. So they're like good until you need it, like
Yeah.
months, years down the line,
Yeah,
whenever. So
sure.
we don't offer cryo vials, but we used to.
Well,
Apparently.
I'm kind of like, we got this like this is we're going way off topic here, but we got this. This is not totally off topic because this is an SSI buyout, right?
Yeah.
So we're already buying it out. We're buying U.S. made. Maybe there's a reason for that, but maybe there's also a reason for maybe considering like non-U.S. made or something, right? And also there's there might be a potential opportunity for buying cryo vials and offering them as a product line, right?
Yeah.
Which is just something we don't do. So I'm trying to learn like what the specs are on a cryo vial. This is actually going to be in cold storage, but apparently it's only to negative 80
Yeah.
degrees. Now
Yeah. That's good. It's 80.
our like current O-ring um, is an ethylene poly mix kind of
Yeah.
thing. So it can get down to 56 degrees, but it can't quite get to 80. So like there's some engineering, fudge factor we're assuming is in the O-ring to get us to 80, but anything past that to like 196 would require silicone, I would
Yeah.
think. And
Yeah.
we don't
And
have silicone
no.
at all.
Yeah.
So that's out. Any kind of like nitrogen vapor, coolant, whatever stuff is probably not going to fly with what we have.
Right. But we used to make the blue chip product. So I'm not sure if we don't.
Well, when we
But
bought, Venus has samples of two of them still. One of them he liked more than another. I think it was the Italian supplier on his desk that had, cryo vials with like different plugs in the top to secure and seal. But those looked expensive. Those look super expensive. I don't think we need anything that crazy. I think what we need is, I'm looking at it right now. The guy's telling me what kind of polypropylene he's using in his cryo vials out of China, right?
mhm.
And I just, it's a matter of like O-ring. And if we wanted to keep it US, maybe we just get SSI to mold the same damn storage sample tubes or, screw tubes that we call them with different resin, with a different O-ring, and poof, we got a cryo vial.
Right? Because I know that they like to say, I imagine, that we don't source overseas just because so we say everything is made in the USA, and that really hits home. And so you're not like everything's made in the USA, but not everything we offer is made in the USA, you know? So it's not like that.
Yeah,
That's what I imagine. I
I
can't say that, but that's where all
but
of our
then
marketing is.
cryovial is a price sensitive market, and I'm not sure that particular market gives a shit whether it's made in the US or not, right?
Yeah.
Just, I think some markets care,
Oh yeah.
honestly, right? Laboratory, I don't know, maybe clinical doesn't. Maybe like that whole, like this, that's the clinical side, right? Cryovial would mostly be, no?
Not really. Yeah, I was
No.
working. Yeah, they do it even in basic science, like just
Okay.
seeing how chemotherapy affects like fat cells and like your regular cells. Like we
Okay.
use trial.
So
Yeah, they use it for like
cryo
every.
on both, right? But sure, like I mean, it seems to be well, maybe even maybe just in the clinical side, but it does seem to be very price sensitive.
Oh
And
yeah.
so if we can't offer something that fits the market, like I don't know, like Wellful Bio is the guy I'm talking to. And the resin is it's like a K8009 resin, which should be easy enough to look up, right? That he's using for the 200 degrees, negative 200 C.
Yeah.
But guy quoted me like 225 bucks a case, sterilized from overseas.
Yeah.
And how much could we sell it for?
That's a good. I don't know off the top of my head.
But we're getting way off topic.
Yeah, but
But
I will say on this trial market, I would say they're price sensitive, but also it's flooded with a lot of suppliers. So if we bring something that's differentiated there, I think it really holds a chance. And one thing that I would say is one, it's already a sales opportunity. I put it in there, like I think right after you started, because we had
yeah,
the Corsi event. but we have the viewpoint tubes, which are our color changing ones. Somebody asked whenever we had Labapalooza, and we got like three of those requests in like a very short time because I also did a sales event. But just saying
Okay.
all this because you're looking into cryo vials, somebody asked if we could put the viewpoint resin in a cryo vial, which is like an additive that changes our tubes to change like from light blue to or from clear or from natural to light blue at 4C, dark blue at 0C. So like then that's like actually like a more novel thing, but it's
Zero C. Is that even cryo?
no, but it's for whenever they're warming them. So whenever they're thawing, the
Oh.
so then they have the visual indicator because it saves them a lot of time. So they actually know when it's thawed and you don't want it to get too hot. So you don't want it to get too high above like 0C or 4C. So it really is like actually, yeah, that was one of the most easy things, but it's like does LabCon want to go down that? But I think that's something worth looking into because we got three requests all
So
within two
you
weeks.
saw I shared at least the request from Bob out to the team about what we should add to the product line, or what kind of products would sell, or what how to create more sales opportunities, right?
Yeah.
And you had kind of blown me off on the question and said you would answer it.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to get like this stuff with ACT and like
I,
all these like
I would love
questionnaire. Yeah.
I would love to hear your input, because I do think, considering the team and its energy right now, and the focus on like what's coming for us next, right?
Yeah.
I do think it's probably a prime opportunity to bring things to the table that maybe even we've brought to the table before and hasn't gone anywhere. Maybe it's time to bring it all back.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to. I think where I landed yesterday with Helen, because we're not. I don't think anybody's super excited about doing a full blown SWAT, right?
Yeah.
And maybe we're not ready for an R&O activity under ISO, right?
Yeah.
But maybe soon. But for the
Yeah.
time being, I think Helen's going to promote or advocate for all of us just coming up with 5 opportunities.
Yeah.
That's it. Just opportunities. Forget the threats and the blah blah blah. Right? Just opportunities. Everybody comes up with 5, and then as a management team, we lay them all out, and then we all get 5 votes. And then as a team, we select the 5 most, you know, strategically important initiatives, right? To focus on next year. And I would think, like, what is it? Expansion of the product line, right? Or consolidation even of the product line if some
Oh,
things aren't
100%.
making any money,
Yeah.
right? A
100%.
review a review of the top or the bottom, sorry, 10 or 20% of customers or
Yeah.
product lines, right? Either to increase pricing and straighten it out, or to, reduce costs, or to call it a loser and get the hell out like get rid of it,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And
Just exit out and yeah, deactivate it. Because we
but
do
add some,
yeah.
remove some, you know, normal stuff.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Completely agree. And I think that the moving forward, like the opportunities thing would be like huge just to see what people think are opportunities, you know, because mine would be a mix of current products and like the viewpoint cryovial
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
sorry about the tangent, but that was
No,
good chat.
good
Thanks.
stuff.
And
Yeah.
I would love your input on that if when you get time.
Yeah.
Okay. So we make a subject that's relevant, and
Yep. So lead or contact. If they're already a contact, you're good to go
yeah,
and start. If they're a lead, just remember to convert. Then from there, that org will now be in Zoho. Then you have a contact, right? Then you
yeah,
can associate it with the subject so you easily can find it again. Next big thing, sales opportunity. What's the opportunity here? So if you already have something here, you list it. But if not, and you see how some people just put very basic, I
yeah.
never.
That looks like a scary list, man. But it's
Exactly.
required. It's a
Yeah, so
required
I'm the
thing.
one who puts like AppSci, Evolve, LTS because I like to know who the customer is and what product. we send them. Some people
Is
just put like random.
well, hey, guess what we're doing right now? Right now, we're recording this to make a standard work that we could potentially flow out and everybody would follow. So
Yeah,
why don't we come up with a standard? You're
right.
going to create the sales opportunity. Go, at least 6 digits of the customer name or something. We could come up with
Exactly.
specifics, right?
I
The colon, and then product name,
31. Yeah, I literally that simple. It's literally customer name and product number are all you
product
need.
number, right?
Yeah, because if you put product name, which super
Too
tube, which
loose.
yeah, which 50 mil tube,
Yeah,
which
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Product number.
yeah. Even if you say which 2 mil tube, screw cap, not
So
snap cap.
on this one, I'd be concerned that people are searching for Fortis and don't find it, but maybe that comes up in the org account name.
Yeah, that comes up in the org account name.
Great.
Exactly. Yeah. So even if somebody types in Fortis in the search bar, it'll come up with sales opportunities and like all meetings and stuff like that. So if you just type in Fortis, you'll see
Yep.
this at the bottom. And then
Excellent.
org or account,
Right there.
system name, yeah, right there. Closing date, you can always come back to this and say like when you close it. Products. This is like something Tom recently added. It's an extra step for the sales team and they don't love it. So it's not a required field, but if you want to, I'll show you since it's like part of the
Let's do
process.
it. Let's make it part of the process.
So then you come here and then you go to product code is what this product
3641
is 3641 dash
eight
875
seven five
dash
dash
9.
9. Yeah.
Mhm.
This one I know.
Let's see. So it wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
Nope. Let's say contain
Starts with
3641875.
that's it.
So I don't
No
know why,
dash
but
nine. What's
yeah.
the
So we
dash
have
nine color code?
no. So dash nine is case, four dash is pack.
Wait, there
So
was. Maybe I read it wrong, but when I was on the product, the catalog.
yeah. So we don't have four dashes in the catalog. We only have dash nines because that's for the general public to buy cases. So whenever you're on the product page, this one's on page 53, you'll see 3641,875, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 5,000 in a case, 500 in a pack. Four dash is going to be just one bag of 500 instead of the 10 bags of
Okay.
5,000 that come in a case. So for the samples module, doesn't matter. But for later, this would be something for me to go set up in Zoho so the Dash 9 is available, right? But for this, it's still here, so it's fine. So you just find the product, confirm. So now it's going to be associated with that. And then the amount. What do they say this is? Like $2 million?
2 million pieces.
Oh, 2 million pieces. I know it, and you can always go mess with the numbers because the number, like after you create the sales opportunity, I usually actually go to the bottom and do uh that's only works with quotes. Like to get an amount, you can either put a rough number. Some people put $1 if they literally have no idea. Some people put the rough estimate of like a case, you know?
Okay.
Some yeah, and some people just put okay, however many pieces. You said 2 million pieces, so
Yeah.
that's
Per year was the proposed.
so 2 million divided by. So it's like 400 cases of the Dash 9. I have no idea what it costs, but let's just say it costs roughly like $500 for a case or something, right? Just rough.
Sure. It's 60 cents a piece when we buy it from SSI.
So then,
So 500 in a case?
no, 5,000.
Yeah, I think that's what I meant.
Mhm.
10 bags of 500. 10 bags. What's that?
Yeah,
Uh,
'cause this one's about 600. I looked at the price a couple days ago. I don't remember, but like I think our cost ends up being like 525, is what like that math of what you said, like 60 cents a piece, like is roughly like what our cost is and what we like price it at. Is I think the distribution price is probably like a little over 600. So this is all just like estimates, right? So you can always modify this, but let's just say $600 times 400 cases, I think I said is what it is. So then 240,000. And
Okay.
then once you're in, so this is all for sales opportunity. So then it's you can either do qualification, proposal slash quite price quote slash negotiation, product design development. So this is for you to be able to like move it along the process, right? And you, in theory, everyone comes everyone comes back as it's moving along.
Yeah.
And after you qualify it with samples, okay, now we're moving on to proposed quotes. We're negotiating how many they'll buy, whatever it is. Then product design or development, it doesn't have to be done, or if it does, then But ideally somebody's championing this along. I think only a few people really go back and do that. I'm not sure. So this is just what it is. So now that's the sales opportunity has been created, it'll appear in the sales opportunities module. Everything else is just kind of like unimportant information. Like if you have a quote, we don't have the quote yet. So, but you can always retroactively add a quote to this, right?
Okay.
And then there's like the due date. So then you submit it, let's say today, leave it at 9 a.m. It doesn't matter. And then due date, when would you like the sample sent? ASAP?
Sure. Yeah. ASAP
Yeah,
if
I just
possible.
put
Yeah.
tomorrow. I just put tomorrow because I mean
Okay.
they still process it anyways, and they'll send that out the same day. But I'll just put tomorrow, and then everything else is like check this box if it's a show or exhibition. It's not. Check this box if there's an attachment. If you're going to shows, that's typically whenever like you attach an attachment with like all the products that you want samples of for Mike and Joe to input instead of going down and uh putting them in one by one here. Bob does
Okay.
that sometimes instead of like cloning samples requests from like a previous show and then like modifying it. Sometimes he'll just add an attachment. So that's just what that add an attachment is. Tracking number, Mike and Joe fill that in. And important is like, obviously, if you want anything for Mike and Joe to know or to say the attention, but the attention is right down here. So I don't think Garth had an address or George had an address. So that's why nothing pops up here. So we'll have to come up with what that address is. And you you
Oh,
can
I have an address.
okay. So I'll save this and then if you want to type it or you can just say it right now. Either one. Or put it in the chat.
I was hoping just to put it in the chat since we're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back and update a bunch of stuff. Where so many emails on this thread.
Yes.
Dear God. Ah, got it. There it goes.
Oh, okay, nice.
All right, here's the pricing. I got pricing.
What's there?
Whoa, there's my own big ass face on the screen.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, what's the zip code for Canada?
I think that wasn't it in there?
Oh, is that
It's
zip
the
code
it's the
not?
6 digits at the end, the M9C1C2. That's their weird zip.
Ah.
I know. It's Canada. Hey,
No backpack.
you should see my screen right now.
Yeah.
This is the pricing. 500 per bag, 10 bags. Yeah, I was off by a factor of 10 on this shit. So it's 6 cents a piece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just make sure I'm doing. So a case is 170 plus 170, like 340, 350 bucks
That's the
for
cost, not price, right? Because this is coming from Mark.
screw tube. This is coming from Mark. Yeah. This is the
Yeah.
cost. Yeah. We can't use this. Can't use this for price for sure.
Oh, but you're saying okay, you found the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I mean, yeah. They probably don't typically trust salespeople with the cost numbers, right? For
Yeah.
good reason. No offense, but I
Exactly.
mean,
No,
I know when I was on the upside, I never did.
right, of
but
course.
but no, I know this cost. I know the difference. So here, what we're looking at is the screw tube itself is 114, right? And
Yeah.
then depending on which screw cap, and
Wow. Okay, so
we're going
Mark.
with this one, the O-ring,
Yeah. So the price,
174.
the list price is about $1,700.
Hold on, just wait, 1,700. What do you mean?
Like list price for it. So watch.
For a case of these?
Yeah. So once you're
What?
in like yeah, so
That's okay.
whenever you're what you call it. So in Zoho, we have our price lists.
Yeah.
Yep, 2026, US and Canada, V100s, VWR, blah blah blah, L100. And then that's just like list price, somebody looking it up online. That's obviously not including discounts, but 3641, 875, 1697.14. So even more expensive. But actually,
Really? That's a hell of a markup.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So about 169 per pack is what it is, right? But so then attention for George.
Yeah, these cost us 300 piece. He doesn't need the caps on them. What is a really weird request? Maybe you can straighten it out in my head. But the last was he doesn't need the caps on, but he does need them sterilized. And I didn't think that made any sense. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, people do.
Okay.
We do have sterile things where the caps and tubes are separate.
So they open them up in a clean room?
Yeah, they open up
Okay.
the bag. Yeah, and they take the bag is stored away, and then they open up the bag only whenever you're under the hood, basically.
Okay. All right. Hmm.
Can you still see the screen?
I can still see the screen. I just got
Okay.
sick of looking at my own face.
Yeah, it was just every time I go up there, it messed up the address whenever I clicked to add his name. So Canada. All right. So have all the shipping information and everything else, you see?
Uh-huh.
Yep. And then
Excellent.
product name 3641 dash.
875, which they would, yeah. So I talked to Michael about this the other day. You still put the 875.
So yeah, that makes sense because he does still need it sterile. He just doesn't care if they're pre-assembled or not.
No, but the
which
sample goes out as 870.
yeah,
They don't send an 875 sample. And
right. Well,
we
you only put so if they want the sample or if they want a sterile product, even if we don't actually send it as sterile, but they can still see the mock sterile packaging is why we'll put the specific part number and not the non-sterile there. So the customer will know it tells them even in the sample, this is not actually sterile, this is just mock sterile packaging. But if yeah, so if they do want it sterile down the line, that can help just connecting this product with that sample opportunity and like so on. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's why it's just keeping it like uniform. Uh, but it honestly doesn't matter. Like these are never going to be shipped sterile, but if you just want to associate the 875 with them and the sales
Yeah.
opportunity,
Well, it'll
that's
keep it.
fine.
Yeah, it'll make more sense as to like. Yeah, I mean, they'll send out the 870 samples, of course, but
Yeah.
the other thing they wanted was colored caps, but I don't think it really mattered which colors. Like they just need a couple different colors.
Okay.
But I don't think that has to come out on the sample.
So then how many tubes do they want? They just need to see that it fits in the machine, right? So it's like
I mean, originally they asked for bulk, and for us, bulk means 500-piece bag, right?
yeah.
But then obviously yesterday that was I was advised that we don't do that. So it was yesterday. It was I was told a handful was uh, appropriate, and I don't know what a handful is.
I say 20 tubes. I'm
Yeah,
like
20 tubes
10.
and caps,
Yeah,
right?
20 tubes and caps.
Can we
Or
say
well,
various?
they already come with the caps. So I'll just say
Okay, 20. Yeah.
and then they still but they want the separate caps just to see how they fit and look like and stuff.
Well, I don't want to. I mean, my hope was that we had some spare colored caps kicking around in the sample drawers, and we could
Yeah,
send them like, here's a green one, here's a yellow one, here's a red one, kind of thing.
yeah.
But I don't know how to do that either.
Yeah, because that's usually just through here. But I would say that's where you can like still put like 3600 because that's the cap that goes with the 3641. And then
Yes.
just put I would probably just put the assorted. And
Oh,
and then
yeah, there
just
was that assorted number.
yeah, and then I would just say probably still give them 20 caps. Or I don't even know if they need that many. How many would you say?
I mean, 20
Same
caps
amount?
total, so they can
Yeah.
check their automation. But I mean, if they got 20 natural and then like one, like a couple, like five assorted or something, right? Different colors, that would be awesome. If
Yeah.
somebody could hand pick out the colors. They get all yellow assorted, that's not very helpful. But yeah,
No.
like I'm figuring I could go down and talk to Greg or somebody when the samples are pulled.
Yeah, so the person you'll want to talk to is Margarita, is her name. And she
Okay.
works in the sales, but she also is in the green room and the samples drawer. And I only say that because if you go talk to Greg, he'll just say go find Margarita. Because she's the one who like owns the green room, which is the samples room, and she's the one who's always back grabbing your samples. Always. And
Okay.
so and she's yeah, so I would say this is where like that's a great point. Put that in the description or the important, but I don't think it's important enough to put an important. So I would just say put it in the description, assorted caps
So
for
we have white,
10.
yellow, orange. We have white, yellow, orange, red, purple, blue, and green. So
Right?
preferably, I'd give them one of each of those. I don't know if that's an option.
I think the assorted comes with various colors loosely mixed. So I guess it's probably whatever we just have available.
So can we say 10? And
Uh,
then,
10 caps.
yeah, I'll just grab one of every color as a side 10. caps and just send him the 10 colored caps, right?
Yep. Okay. Ideally.
All right, so just in the special instructions.
Yeah, and then that's whenever you put, yeah, just anything. And you can also go tell Mike and Joe, you can email them. You're right outside of their office.
I
So
am.
you can
Yeah,
just
that's
walk
very
away.
helpful.
You can literally just walk right there and say, hey, like
Yeah.
on the sample request, because they input it very quickly and you'll get an email. I'll put that I'll put you're the sample owner so you can get the
Different
email.
mic. Oh, yeah, there you go. Great. Thanks.
Of course. So then, yeah, and then you can just tell them, email them, whatever, and then they'll do what you say in the description and stuff. So that's it. This is a samples request, and then you just have to change the last thing, the status, because they're not gonna know whether you're still working on it and adding other part numbers until you hit submit it, and then we're
And
all
then
set.
save.
Yep, and then save. And you can also just save it. And then even if it's not even if it's on draft, Mike and Joe will
Uh-huh.
email you like within a day, 2 days or a couple, and say, hey, like, should we process this? Are you still working on it or what? So
And that's
it's
it.
nice that they just check. Yeah.
Everything else happens automatically.
Yeah. Everything else.
Nice.
Yeah. Except
That's
them
not
going
that
to
hard.
enter DTR.
All
Yeah.
right.
It's
So
easy,
that's a
but
sample.
yeah.
And then how the F do we quote the damn thing? Obviously, we'll go to quotes then, right?
Yeah. So then
Uh, so we got the cost,
yeah.
but
So
then we
then
got to sterilize and
yeah. So, and I'm still working on the quote. I think I'll have that back by tomorrow. Because I have to go make the part numbers. We can't even quote the numbers that they want yet. So like, let me share screen again.
okay.
So for quotes, you go to the quotes module, right? Here right now, you see all the recent ones. You see like my biorad one from a couple days ago. But uh you just go create quote whoever's the owner, subject, you still tie it to the same cell. You can tie it to the same sales opportunity. So that's how I said earlier, like you can either put the quote first if you already made it, or if it's not made, and then just associate it with the sales opportunity. These are all interconnected modules. So like
Hmm.
it honestly doesn't matter which one you do first. Some of them just make it easier because you don't have to go to like three modules. Sometimes you just go to one or
Well,
two,
both
right?
the sample request and the quote are attached to the sales opportunity name, right? So that's the header. So,
Exactly.
okay,
And that's why the quote just needs to be attached to the sales opportunity name because attached to the sales opportunity is also the sample.
great.
Yep. So sales opportunity, there's the one that we just did. You're in the process, you just leave it at quote stage, and with quotes, you can't undo it. uh like it has to be approved by Bob or uh Patty
Okay.
whenever they give her permissions and Tom if it's international. So like once you hit save, it doesn't work like samples. That is stuck. You have to actually email them and say, hey, like I messed up. I didn't realize that this was gonna save it and like send it to you for approval. I was just gonna come back to it later. Can't do that with quotes.
Mhm.
It's now or never.
Okay.
Whenever working with a quote. So just fun fact.
And
But
there's
yes,
no like saving it as a draft.
nope.
That's
You
it.
think that's a draft is sending to Bob.
Okay.
I've done that before, but too many times. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that it does this, or wanted you to see my initial thought, but didn't realize it was gonna trigger the automation and all that. So yeah, but with
Got it.
quote, sales opportunity name, name the quote 3641 IPOC. I just put the inverse of the other one, but doesn't matter. Same thing. Org/account name, and then George comes up. Whenever it says contact email, you just click on that little dot again, and then just Command C, Command V, copy paste, right? You can just stay in the same module. Shipping street, shipping city, and all of that. We just went through that, right? So that's obviously what it's gonna just be tied to. So whenever you do send it to them, and then Here it would be, since we just were working with the part number, it's still at the top. So 3641,875. And
Okay,
then,
good,
but
good.
it's not the dash nine, right? So one, the dash nine's not even in here to quote. So even if you wanted to do the standard product, couldn't do that. I would have to go, me or Tom would have to go set it up. And that's because we just have to put in like our base information from our master data file that we have for products.
Well, the only one we're selling right now, capped and sterilized, is the natural screw cap.
Yep. So that's the 875. So 3641 is the family. 875 means that it's that packaging sterilized. So that's the five at the end. It'll be the zero if it's non-sterile. And then this second string or this third string of like three numbers is going to be
Yeah.
the packaging. So if it's 000, natural, no packaging changes, you haven't changed the bag or anything, it's standard as it comes.
Okay.
001 is going to be the white cap, and then two is yellow, and then three is orange. So that's
Okay.
the that yeah, and then that's how you just change it.
So he had told us what colors he had used before, and I don't think it really matters when we get down to like yellow and green. It's probably all the same freaking color.
Yeah. So
But considering he had shared which colors they were using, it probably would make sense just to put those as the colors we're requesting on the quote, right?
hmm um
Or
so
if it doesn't matter at this point, we could skip it.
yeah, it doesn't matter because what we have to actually do is use that exact part number that we are quoting. So we can't do like the 3640,870, which is just like the tube only, right? And not like the tube with the caps, which is the 3641. So if you do the 3640, you could do these separately and quote them and stuff, but that's not what you would want to do. What we do is set up the part number, which is what the change request form is
Okay.
for. So I had to go through to set up to do like the new product setup. We have to look through, see what's available. We had this product with BWR similarly before, so we have to go through, make the part numbers. That's what I did with the change request yesterday that I was saying that put in Tom's box before I left yesterday, so
Hmm.
that he can go through, set up the part numbers to have each of these 3641,875s with not just the 000 natural cap, but then with 001 for white, 002 for yellow, and then so on. So we just reactivated all of them and we'll make them as Labcon branded products, right? And we don't have to wait till it's set up in DTR, but that's the other part that I have to do now that I put the form in his
Okay.
box is give him the part numbers, the descriptions and stuff. So that's what makes the quotes take a little bit longer is because you have to go through and then piece together the short descriptions and
So
all that. But
I
that's
can't
me behind the
quote.
scenes. Yeah,
I can't quote until there's a part number.
exactly.
So,
With
but
yeah.
I am quoting. I mean, basically, what I'm quoting to him is a case of tubes. I'm quoting him 4 cases of tubes and 1 case of natural, 1 case of yellow, 1 case of green, 1 case of whatever, white, maybe caps. No, wouldn't
Um,
that?
no, because I don't know. I think it'll
No,
be different. And that's because I from what I heard from Linda and Tom yesterday is that we're setting this up with the tubes assembled and sterilized. So caps on, but he doesn't want them on.
not caps on. That was yesterday's information from Patty. Yeah, this is evolving as we go, so that's unfortunate. However, the evolution as of yesterday from Patty was they don't need the caps on. So when the caps come in from SSI all bagged, we shouldn't touch them.
Yeah. I- okay.
We should just leave them bagged, you know. And if he wants specific colors and specific counts, we'll quote just cases of caps, right? And he can mix and match as he so pleases. And if he wants an assorted, then we'll quote the assorted. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we just quote the assorted and quote the tube, and it's there, sterilized both, right? And it's there, right?
So the 3641 and then so you would do not the 3641 875 because that's tubes and caps together. Then it's going to be the 3640, which is the same tube. And then you can choose whether it's the O-ring caps or the elastomeric sealing ring caps. Uh
Well, yeah, I guess that's the question. Do we, because if we order the tube with cap, it doesn't come sterilized from SSI, right? If it's sterilized,
no,
we
I think
sterilize it.
yeah, it's
Okay,
sterile packaging, and then Mark puts it into our box that has been like dose mapped or
great.
whatever. He packs it to do whatever, and then we sterilize it. Or he has to do something, and then yeah, we sterilize it. So
Yeah.
I'll have to ask Tom since because I didn't catch that with Patty yesterday that they because I was asking them like right after the call if you saw me walk with Linda to see which colors to set up, and we're just setting up all of them for the pre-capped, and that's why everyone was like, "Oh, that'll add like labor and stuff." But since he
Yeah.
doesn't need cap,
So it's not recap.
it,
So
yeah,
worst case scenario, worst case scenario, I think we're repackaging these things. We crack open the SSI box, right?
yeah,
We mix and match color lids as per requirement to customer specs or whatever. You're talking minimal labor if it's something like that. And that even that we might be able to get away with not doing. So
yeah,
I don't think it's a ton of labor on this one. It is sterilization for both, but I think from a perspective of material costs, for at least understanding the costs of what we're going to be buying for this opportunity, I would think the assorted caps and the tubes without the cap on it would be the way to quote it out.
yeah. Like seems like that makes the most sense, honestly. If
Okay.
they want it sterilized, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Not
God, okay,
capped, but
I'm gonna have to
sterile.
ask Tom. So yeah, once we get off, I'm gonna have to ask Tom and say, actually, I think that those part numbers that they want need to be different. Because the ones that I put for the change request, I'm 99% sure those are for the tap caps and tubes on, and then sterilized, and then it's each different color that
So
comes, and then we were gonna set it up to where it's like instead of like it'll be natural that they can buy with the cap with the tubes, and then they can buy the yellow or the white or whatever. But since
Patty,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, and Patty is, you know, as you saw, still the lead contact for George, right?
yeah,
And George is the lead for the other side, the customer. So I need to go through her to make sure. But the what just came of this yesterday, and just literally yesterday. I'm trying to find the email, but it was George. One more thing, George didn't want the caps on the tubes. Here is an email. So, oh, right here, you should be able to see it. 5:30. Oh, this morning. Sorry, 5:36 a.m.
hey,
this morning. George didn't want the caps on the tubes.
can you forward that email to
Sure.
Tom? Yeah, to me, Tom, and Linda, or just me and it doesn't matter. But I have to send it to Tom and Linda,
You
or
feel
really to
free.
Tom. Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah, just
send
send
you
it
a
to me.
copy of that.
Exactly, because I'll have to ask him because he needed to proofread the change request to make sure there were no errors, and I don't think so. But I'm like, wait, don't
So
send this to
this
Tom Plunk. Yeah,
this highlights Jim's reservations about, I mean, are we ready to move on this opportunity because it's changing? What we're trying to, and this happens a lot, right? So
yes,
we don't have a super strong intake form or intake process for PPD. So we don't like, here's all the stuff you got to gather, right? You don't even come to PPD until you've like gathered at least most of this, right?
yeah,
And then, I mean, that's what it's kind of where I'm going with this is what's the process here, and then like how does it tie into PPD, and what information needs to be gathered, and when should we be gathering it, kind of thing. But yeah, like things like this throw off. You're doing work already
Yeah,
based on
exactly.
previous assumptions, and then as of this morning, oh, by the way, one more thing.
Yeah. And then it's
Right?
like whenever everyone's like has the urgency because everyone wants to get the quote out, but then whenever it changes like by the moment like that, then it's like get all of our ducks in a row, then we can move forward internally. Just because, yeah, I don't want Tom Clunk or I don't nobody does to start setting these up and say, wait, so I'm not setting up these parts.
Yeah, don't do
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
So I'm
So
glad this meeting is so well timed for all of this, right? So I'm
yes.
so happy we got together this morning on this.
Yeah.
So yes,
Okay, and I'm
my
about to have to hop
understanding.
off in a second, but I'm gonna send an email because I have to leave
All
and
right.
head to Berkeley in like
Oh yeah, yeah,
five
you
minutes.
do. So yeah,
So
so we're clear on the understanding of like it's four different colored caps. They can be separate. You can just buy cases of caps,
yeah,
different colors, and then everything's sterile. And then I don't know how do we have that dose mapped a case of caps is really going to be the question. But and then tubes sterile, but separate. I think that's the way this is getting quoted.
got it. Okay, and then would you say move forward with assorted and get that sterilized, or move forward with just getting five different bags? And I can just ask Patty to ask, because I don't know if she's seen this exact one, but that's something to get clarified. Whether it's just the assorted with any random number of various colors, or whether it's buying or activating like five different colors,
Well,
right?
here's my assumption. Whatever we quote for the assorted, and then we give him all 10 caps, and then he picks the colors, it's going to be the same quote.
Yeah.
So he's going to have the same number. We could revise the part number selection and push it through as an order down the road, but we could just quote based on assorted, right? And then it doesn't matter. Then you can pick whatever colors he wants, or you can keep it assorted, or you could do whatever, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
it's not that specific where like if he comes around and goes, I want green and blue and yellow, where we're
Yeah.
gonna be like, oh, I'm sorry, that's an extra 3 cents a cap or something.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening.
Right. Okay.
So right now we keep it generic, just say assorted, send them one of each.
And then yeah, I think it's great to
Oh,
just look for yeah.
but we have to send him 20 caps now because we're sending him tubes without caps.
No, so the ones that we put in there are the ones the caps with the tubes.
That's another way to go, right?
Right? So because I can actually just go do the 3640
Well,
instead.
that's what I'm thinking now with this. I mean,
Yeah, with
because
what
we
the
might as
caps
well
are.
give it to him the way he's going to get them, right? Here, you're going to
Yeah.
get him without the caps on. Let's not make it confusing for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
So no problem at all.
Revising.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know you got to run. So if you got to run and we revisit this later, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. And let me go through and put this in now. If you can, go tell Mike and Joe not to process this because they move fast.
Okay. I'll tell him to
Yeah,
hold on Fortis or IPOC.
yeah.
IPOC is the way it's in.
Okay. And I'll go change the part numbers right now. Or do you want to just go change the part numbers to the 36 or I can just do it. I'm in here right now. 3640 870 000-9. Yep, that's that one. And then the assorted caps, 3600, 870. Okay. So 20 tubes, 20 caps.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And you can go check, take a look. You actually might not even need to tell them to hold off. If they already entered it, you might need to tell them to,
To revise.
yeah, to revise. Because
Excellent.
I
I
just
will. I'll go
resubmitted.
check in with him right now.
Got it. Okay.
Cool. That was great. Let's maybe do this again in a couple weeks on something else, but
Yeah.
let's see how the SOP comes out that I've tried to capture, and I'll share it.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Thanks. Enjoy the show in Berkeley, man.
Yeah. Thanks,
Have a
Mike.
good Have a good day and good weekend. I'm off tomorrow, so
Oh yeah, enjoy
I'll
your
see you next
weekend.
week.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay,
See ya.
thanks. See ya.